Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and welcome to Command Power, the show in which we discuss all things Magic the Gathering with a focus on Commander. And today we have another episode in our Spoiler Spotlight series in which I talk about, well, spoilers and tell you what my thoughts are on them. But before that, just a quick reminder to click subscribe if you enjoy my videos. We're well on our way to 1 million subscribers and your support means everything to me. And today we're going to be talking about Bloodletter of Aclazotz. For 1 colorless and 3 black, it's a creature vampire demon 2/4 with flying, and if an opponent would lose life during your turn, they lose twice that much life instead. Damage causes loss of life. So this is a super sweet card. The stat line is obviously very weak for what you're paying, but you really just want it for the ability, which is absolutely nuts. Basically, it's a wound reflection on a creature, but instead of happening at the end of turn, it's going to happen immediately whenever the loss of life happens. So that actually just makes it stronger in many situations. There is the clause that it's only going to trigger during your turn, and the reason for that is that this would basically otherwise double all other players' damage to other players, thus discouraging them from attacking you and making the game quite unfun in a commander game, in a multiplayer game. And that's why that clause is in there, and I think it's a good thing that it's in there because otherwise this would have been completely ridiculous. Even as it is, it's incredibly strong. It's going to fit right into any sort of aggro deck, which is really going to want this. So any beatdown black deck, and there's quite a few of those, is super interested in this card. It is a little bit difficult to cast, so you will have to invest in a good mana base if you want to put it into multicolored decks. But for example, my Kana Bloodfist of Kel deck would absolutely love this because it's going to be doubling basically all of those triggers that are going to be happening. It's great in any deck that's interested in going into the red zone. So a deck commanded by, say, Gix, Yawgmoth, Praetor is going to be really interested in this as well because it's basically going to be doubling all the damage that your little creatures are dealing as they sneak through to draw you cards. But where this gets really powerful is with all sorts of triggered abilities. So of course this is going to fit very well in Aristocrats decks as well, which is maybe not the first place you would think to include it, but seeing as you've got all of these Blood Artist triggers, these Zulabord Cutthroat triggers, they're all essentially going to be doubled by this, which is going to make them that much more powerful, and with the amount of triggers that those decks can throw around, it can end the game super quickly. The other 2 cards that I'm really interested in talking about with this are something like Grey Merchant of Asphodel, as if that card needed any help. So this comes with 3 black mana pips in its cost. That's already really good with Grey Merchant. But when you realize that basically it's going to double the damage dealt to each opponent with Grey Merchant, that's going to basically gain you double the life that you would normally gain with the Grey Merchant, which is just insane. You're basically draining for double and gaining double the life with this out, which is really nuts and should really finish the game instantly in most board states. This card is really nuts with that card. The other good synergy is with Extort. This is so good with Extort because again you're just paying 1 mana, but you're going to be draining the table for 2 life each, and then you're going to gain 6 life back, which is absolutely crazy amounts of life gain for 1 mana expended, and just so much damage thrown around as well. You could even build a deck with just a bunch of Extort creatures and just extort away on every spell you cast with this out, so you can just kill your opponent super quickly without even having to attack. As a last card to mention with this, I wanted to mention my favorite card, Keen Duelist, which works really nicely with this because obviously you're both going to be losing a life equal to the card revealed by your opponent, but this is not going to double the life loss for you, it's just going to double the life loss for your opponent, and that trigger happens during your turn. So yeah, they're just going to be taking double the life loss from that effect. So yeah, this card is really nuts. It's probably one of the best cards we've seen in the set so far, and it should be an absolute chase card. And again, black is getting a lot of goodies in this set. The last few sets feel like black is always getting the best stuff. I'm not complaining because these days black is one of my favorite colors, but still, this is very powerful. So there you have it. Those have been my thoughts on this new spoiler. What do you think about this card? Please let me know in the comment section below. I read all comments and respond to all of them too. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like or subscribe. It really helps the channel. And until next time, take care.